Hi, so I wanted to give you a quick heads up on the new HobbyMate D6 Duo Pro that I just got. So a couple of things that I'm disappointed about and I wanted you to be aware of. So first, the wireless charging, while it does work, the fan runs constantly when you have that enabled. So if you were thinking, like I was, that you're going to put this in your bedroom, put your phone on it, and charge it through the night, well, you're not, because the fan is going to run all the time, and that's no bueno. I was really hoping that my wife could charge on this and my Samsung I would use, which is silent. But this is far from silent. This fan is loud. The only way to turn the fan off is to disable the wireless charging. So disappointing. I'm really hopeful that in a future firmware update that maybe that could be changed. So fingers crossed on that. So second, let's clarify about the external discharge functionality on this guy. You cannot charge a pack from the pack that you want to discharge from. Just can't do that. It'll give you a error message, a warning message that you can't do that. And what it states in the user manual is that you can use a resistive load to do that external discharge. So what I found that works perfect is my smoke stopper. Let me show you how to set that up real quick. And what I found that works really great is my smoke stopper. This works fantastic for this purpose, and let me show you that real quick. So you're going to take the pack that you want to discharge, and you're going to plug that into the input port. And then you hit the channel button to go to channel 1, and we're going to select external discharge, and it's a LiPo. We're going to go down to storage voltage 3.8. And then our current setting, we're going to discharge at 3 amps. And then I'm going to plug in my smoke stopper and start the task. And so this works really great. The light is going to indicate that it's discharging. When the discharge is done, it will beep. And the light will go out. So you'll have 2 indicators if you wanted to turn off the beep. So you can do this at night while your family's sleeping and you're not. And you could turn off the beeps and just use the light as the indicator of when the pack is done discharging. So I think that's a really cool way to go about it. The other thing that I was thinking about that you could do as a workaround to discharge this pack and charge another pack is you would set the minimum voltage for the system, which you can do in the system settings. So let's go to system settings, and there is the minimum input voltage. And so you can set this, and they're decremented by 0.5 volts, which is a bit unfortunate because if you were to select 15.0 volts, that's 3.75. And then if you went up to 15.5, that's going to be above storage. So again, maybe in a future firmware update, you could select this with a 0.1 increment. And that would be a good way to go about it, because then you could then set that to, say, 15 volts. And then you're going to back out of here, go back out, plug in the pack that you want to charge. That's easy enough. And then start your charge routine like you normally would. So set that to charge, and LiPo, full charge, 4S, we're going to charge at 5.2 amps and start our task. And so this is going to charge this pack from this pack that you want to discharge, but we'll stop the charge when it gets down to, in this case, 15.0 volts, which is going to be lower than storage voltage, so not ideal. So again, hopefully in the firmware update, we'll be able to adjust that so we could just take it down to storage voltage of 3.8. So anyway, thought that might be a workaround. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the firmware. So when I looked to see if the firmware was the latest on this guy, I looked on the website. I couldn't find the firmware anywhere listed on the website. So I did a general web search and found the download page. And so I'll link that down below in the description for your convenience. But when I went to that page, the latest firmware, it says, is version 1.0.26, whereas the version on the charger that came to me was version 1.0.28. So I'm assuming that this has firmware that is the latest and the greatest, and that the firmware on the website is dated. So that, that's kind of confusing. Anyway, that's it. I love the charger other than those couple of things, and I wish I had known about those, just so when it came, I wasn't, I was kind of disappointed, especially about the wireless charger and that fan running all the time. So anyway, wanted to give you that heads up. Have a great day.